about the upcoming Democratic National Convention, which starts in just a few days in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am truly excited. Yes, a first-time delegate, and I'm excited. We stand today in York's Continental Square. It is more than merely the intersection of George and Market Streets. It is the symbolic, geographic, cultural, recreational, commercial center of our county. It is right here where the courthouse once stood, and the Second Continental Congress forged the Articles of Confederation, which served as a precursor to our nation's Constitution and a document that first articulated the several states that would now join as one nation and unite under the common rights of an individual's liberty, freedom, and the right to secede.
Our lives to a company only to lose their health care benefits, their pension benefits, and it's no secret that in yesterday's Patriot News we're talking about a national contract again for workers at ArcelorMittal. And as they've proven that they can compete, there's still more corporate pressure to be able to reduce costs, to try to lay off workers. And quite frankly, there's a history of rating successful or unsuccessful companies at the expense of one or two versus figuring out ways to create family-sustaining jobs and to invest in areas where manufacturing, technology that are going to enable the middle class to be able to be successful, enable to give upward mobility, to raise their family, and to be able to enjoy the American dream. And there's a clear distinction between who's represented in those policies. And I'm sure you're going to hear more about President Obama's plan.
This is not a typical recession. If you know what happened back in 2000, we all know what happened. That wasn't a typical recession. We're not in that recession. So when we're looking for the unemployment figures and everything to grow, it's not going to happen. And economists back then were saying this is going to take a much longer time. So Obama has increased the Dow Jones, and he's avoided really big, horrendous, depression and double-digit in unemployment. So those things have worked, but they're not going to work in the same way they work for a typical recession.
And can you imagine a United States that didn't have Social Security, which was a Democratic point during this, with people not getting money to live day to day? I mean, this other is a pipe dream. It's taking us back to the medieval times when there were serfs.
Both Medicare and Social Security are both on the table, both attempting to be privatized, both attempting in the Ryan Romney plan that are going to cost Pennsylvanians more for equal or less benefits. So clearly all those things are on the table, and they affect a large disproportionate amount of Pennsylvanians and Americans as to the significant corporate tax loopholes and corporate tax breaks that have been proposed that affect a slim few. So I think the difference is very clear. Yeah, thank you.
Nothing is bigger than the presidential years, and the Democratic Party of York County has been working very hard since actually we began working on this year's election about this time last year. There's tremendous overlap that people don't recognize or are not aware of. You know, what am I going to be doing the next 10 weeks? Anything that needs to be done, anything that crosses my desk, and it will be incredibly varied, the details and the duties that that any county chair has to deal with.